Hey you guys, it's Sarah here and welcome to my channel. I just wanted to jump right in and show you how I put together this tie the shoelace activity page for busy books. I've had this template available on my Patreon for a long time. It was one of the first ones I posted just because it's so cute and it's really simple. It's a great place to start if you're starting out with busy books. Now the template is pretty straightforward. All it is the red pieces and then the white pieces. Here's what the actual cutout of the red template looks like. So as you can see, you get 3 sets of pieces for the shoes, and I don't have the white template cut out because I just have leftover pieces that I'm using from when I cut it out a long time ago. But the white template on there will give you 12, enough for 12 sets of the shoes. So I just do one 12-inch by 12-inch cut on the white felt, and that gives me enough for 12 sets of the white pieces. And then the red one gives me enough for 3 sets. So I do 4 cuts in the red and 1 in the white, and that gives me enough for 12 sets of these shoe pages. So it's really great in terms of minimal amount of cutting per page, just 4 cuts on your Cricut with 12-inch by 12-inch sheets of felt or whatever cutting machine you use. Just 4 of those cuts gives you enough for 12 pages. I also recommend using the JPEG files. The SVG files are also available, but I think when you save the SVG file, you will have to remove the background of these holes and detach them from the piece. It's kind of hard to explain, but I did a separate video on this. Whenever there's a piece that has cutouts inside of the piece, I find that the JPEG file is easier to upload because the SVG file uploads it and you have to like separate the pieces. I'll link the video below to what I'm talking about because it doesn't really make any sense as I'm talking about it now, but I show it in the video using an example. So I'll leave that link in the description in case you're curious. Let's go ahead and get started. As always, I'm using an 8-inch by 8-inch sheet of felt. This is my nice 1.2 millimeter Korean felt. I have it available on my website. All the pieces for this are my stiff 1.2 millimeter Korean felt. I love it. So I'm just going to put the 2 shoes there, and then I'm going to lay out these pieces just at the sides. So I'm going to just lay them out like that, and I'm going to sew a stitch all around the border of both of the shoes, and that will sew these little top layers in place as well as I go around that border. Alrighty, you can see I've got the stitch all around the borders and I've attached those pieces, and that's actually the only sewing that I'm going to do for the page itself. So I'm going to go ahead and grab another 8-inch by 8-inch sheet of felt, and you can see I've already wrapped it in this cute little fabric, and I'm just going to clip it onto the back side of the page. If you guys are new to my channel, this is how I make busy books. I don't make them double-sided. Instead, I just add a back side to each page so that people can pick and choose whatever pages they want and build their own custom busy book. And then I also have this 2 millimeter thick felt. I also use 2 or 3 millimeters. The 3 millimeter felt I just get from my local fabric store. The 2 millimeter felt, I don't have it available in bulk on my website. I buy these in small quantities from different sellers of felt who sell the 2 millimeter Korean felt. I don't, just because I never use it except for the binding pieces. But you want a thicker type of felt, 2 or 3 millimeters. I'm going to go ahead and place that in between the front and back page, and that's what will be used as my binding piece, and I'm going to sew around the border. Okay, that stitch is done. I'm going to bring out my heavy duty hole punch, and we're going to put 2 holes into the binding piece, and that is what I will use to connect pages with some binder rings when my customers want to build their own custom busy book. My hole punch has been used so many times, it actually is wearing out and doesn't cut all the way through, so I have to use scissors to cut the rest, but it still does the job. Next, I'm going to go ahead and grab the white pieces. You just got 2 circles. I'm going to hot glue them down there, and you've got 2 of these upper shoe pieces that I'm going to hot glue at the top. Of course, you are welcome to sew those on if you prefer to sew them. Just make sure you sew them on before you attach the back side. I prefer to just hot glue them on. I think it's a little bit quicker, and hot glue is super strong and works really well. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is grab a type of cord or string. This is a suede cord, and I'm just going to cut it from the length about from the end of my hand up to my armpit. That's about the length that I'm going to cut, and I'm going to cut 2 of those. Probably that's a little bit long and I'll have to trim it, but I would rather have the strings be a little bit too long, just because I know when kids are first learning to tie their shoes, they end up like having a hard time with the length of the lace, and so I'd rather just have it a little bit long. That way the parents can trim it if they want to, or I can trim it if I think it's way too long. And as you can see, I'm just going to lace it through just like you would with a normal shoelace, and then I'll just tie it in a bow so that it's all ready. So that's what it looks like. I'll do the other one. Okay, you guys, and that is the tie your shoelace activity page. So it's really quick and really easy to put together. To cut and assemble this page, assuming you're cutting out the pieces in bulk like I do, it takes about 10 minutes. So it's really quick and really simple, a great place to start. I've got the template for this. The one that I use is available on my Patreon if you're interested. I also outline all of the costs of the materials and how much I would sell this for. So if that's something you're interested in, you can check that out. Thanks so much, you guys, for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.